Okay, great. I think everyone's here. Take it away, Tammy.
Thanks, Patrick. Good morning, everyone. And thank you so much for inviting me to speak to these amazing young people about the next topic, which is talking about creating a youth-friendly city. So my name is Tammy. I'm from the City of Hamilton in economic development. I'm rocking my City of Hamilton gear today, live to you from my home office. So I'm super excited to be here. So today I'm going to, we're going to run through a bunch of different things, but in terms of the nature or how we're going to structure this, it's going to be like a bit of a panel discussion and conversation. And I'll have all of my panelists introduce themselves. But what we're going to get started with is if there is any questions, please drop them into the chat. But otherwise, you guys are welcome to reach out to the CityLAB staff to try and get a hold of us if you wanted some clarification on any of the topics that we're talking about. So let's get started. In terms of a youth-friendly city, I had a difficult time finding like a formal definition for what a youth-friendly city was. And the closest one that I could possibly find was from UNICEF. UNICEF has this whole program called child-friendly cities. So if we substitute child and youth and looking at it from a young person's perspective, their definition was a child or youth-friendly city is a local system of good governance committed to fulfilling children's youth rights. Children or youth rights. It is a city where the voices, needs, priorities, and rights of children and youth are an integral part of public policy, programs, and decisions. It is, as a result, a city that is fit for all. And if you are interested in checking out what that looks like, it's childfriendlycities.org, and that's done through UNICEF. So today I have three amazing young people. So I'm going to go ahead and ask them to introduce themselves, their name, the school that they're from, as well as their city of origin, because we know that sometimes youth are not actually from Hamilton. So let's go on, and I'll start with, on my top right is Amna. Amna?
Hi, my name is Amna, and I'm a business analysis student at Mohawk College, and I'm from Hamilton.
Wonderful. Liz?
I'm originally from Port Dover, but I'm a fourth-year political science student and CityLAB semester in residence alumni.
Wonderful. And Ogo?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ogochukwu Assams, and I'm a student of business analysis in Mohawk College, and I'm originally from Imo State, Nigeria, in West Africa.
Wonderful. So as you guys can see, we have a fantastic mix of different youth from all over, essentially Ontario and from Nigeria. So welcome, guys. So I hope you guys are ready for some spirited conversation about what's happening as a youth-friendly city. So I'm going to start this off with saying, what does a youth-friendly city mean to you? So like, could you guys talk about like some factors that you think could potentially contribute to this? I'm going to start with our local Hamiltonian, Amna, and then we'll go towards Port Dover and then Nigeria. So Amna, what do you think?
Yeah, sure. Actually, youth friendly city means to me where youth participate with different service partners, the general public, to share their opinions and feedback on community programs, activities, and services they enjoy, such as sports, recreations, development, and can also explain how friendly they can be made. Those services can be performed from places such as libraries, local businesses, and even participating in the communities. About the three factors, I must say that these three factors for me is which can contribute to this is civic engagement, of course, and local businesses can support to the youth by mentoring and coaching in order to create small business opportunities, more healthy activities like outdoor sports.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so then Liz, coming in from Port Dover is a bit of a smaller town. So what do you think a youth-friendly city looks like?
So my version of a youth-friendly city is kind of a blend, actually, of the definition you gave and the description that Amna provided as well. And so for me, it's about having being a place to grow. So not just right now when I'm young, but for after that, for into later stages of my life. Also having a voice, so that civic engagement, being able to have a voice in the decision-making processes, and also being able to have fun. And so whether that is through the outdoor activities that Amna listed or through arts and culture, but being able to enjoy the city that you live in and make those memories that hopefully last a long time, lifelong.
Excellent. And like, it sounds like we're kind of on the right track, but I want to be able to ask Ogo, because Ogo, you have the benefit of growing up in Nigeria, but then also coming to Hamilton. So tell me, what is your definition, or what do you think a youth-friendly city looks like?
Thank you, Tammy. So first of all, a youth-friendly city is a community that makes decisions in the best interest of the youths and respects their views. As an international student coming from Nigeria, I wanted to feel safe and secured in my new learning environment. Growing up in Imo State, Nigeria, there was freedom of movement, whereby we could visit any family member and friends without invitation. And also we're able to associate with strangers without being afraid. So for me, a youth-friendly city is a community where the youths have freedom of movement in a safe and secured environment.
Oh, excellent. And that leads us into a good sort of discussion, is that, do you think Hamilton is hitting some of these points? Like, do you think that Hamilton's doing well in that? So let's go back to Ogo with this, just because she's like kind of like the newest here. So.
Yeah. Yes, I think Hamilton is doing that in a way. Yeah. So,
and like, do you think that we can do better, or what's the idea here?
Okay, so in my opinion, I feel Hamilton needs to work on security, and it has to ensure that there are less crimes on the streets and safe neighborhoods. You can also do this by making sure that there's concentrated police patrolling on the communities that are prone to crime, so that our streets will be safe.
Ah, excellent. And what do you think, Liz? Because even though you're from Port Dover, you're now living in Hamilton, right? So what do you think Hamilton's doing well as a youth-friendly city?
I would say that from my first year until now, I have seen, like, in front of my eyes, the connections that Hamilton has made and established with our institute, like schools, Mohawk, Redeemer, McMaster, through programs like CityLAB, and other opportunities, and even at the high school level through like Model City Hall, where you can make those connections, and that's how you feel, in my opinion, like the most tied to your community, when you're like personally invested and have those experiences. My experience at CityLAB was the highlight of my undergrad and made me appreciate and fall in love with Hamilton even more than I did. I do think that there are things that, you know, every city needs to work on, like transit access. I know I lived in Kingston for a summer, and I was amazed to find out that transit there is free for all their youth, which allows them to travel. So say if you're on the mountain and you're a youth, you can get downtown and you don't have to worry about that bus fare. And they saw a tremendous increase in transit use. And so also like inclusivity, so creating spaces where everyone feels comfortable. And so maybe this means actively recruiting or seeking out opportunities for underrepresented groups. And then a third thing that I'll mention is also just physical space for connections. And I know in COVID times, this can seem like physical space where people meet up. What does that even look like anymore? But that's something that we can think about in the COVID recovery stage, is, you know, making opportunities where I can meet people like Ogo or Amna and have these conversations beyond this panel.
Yeah, and hopefully we get to that point, although I read today that we're at like 4,000 cases in Ontario. It's a little bit scary, so everybody stay at home, stay at home, stay at home. But let's go and talk to our local Hamiltonian, Amna. What do you think we're doing well, and what are some of the things that we could potentially do better at?
Yeah, as generally, if you see, the Hamilton is attracting tourism due to its natural beauty. But I want to focus on one of a very important issue, which is basically the homelessness. But Hamilton, with the effort of community and involvement of the government, and as well as youth for involving them from different programs, they are working together to reduce this homelessness issue. And I was going through one of the report that it was said in that report. Sorry, I don't remember exactly what is about. It's about homelessness, but I don't remember the reference. It said that by 2025, Hamilton is one of those cities, will be one of those cities where there is no chronic homelessness. So it's one of very, development from point of view, and from a progressive point of view, Hamilton is going ahead. And the thing which we can improve on in Hamilton is, as you know, that COVID-19 pandemic has a drastic change in Canada economic situation. And when it comes to the housing affordability, it is a major concerns for Canadians, especially for the youth. And this led to the problems with unemployment, high housing taxation, strict mortgage policies. So as compared to the other cities of Ontario, Hamilton has seen highest spike in house prices. So the youth who lost their jobs during this pandemic and who have inadequate employment benefits are the ones who suffered the most. So Hamilton communities and we all should work together on this to make the flexible terms and conditions to afford a house which will lead to the positive impact on the growth of Hamiltonian youth.
You guys are bringing up some pretty heavy hitter items here. We've got safety, we've got placemaking, and now we're talking about affordable housing. Absolutely. From the city's perspective, we have been looking, those are huge, huge, huge topics. So then as we're sharing these sort of ideas, what do you guys think would be a great way for other youth like yourselves to kind of get involved? What are some of the different ways? I'll leave that open to all of you, and feel free to just chime in.
Okay, so for me, what I think youths can do to contribute to the future of Hamilton as a youth-friendly city is to engage in volunteer work, such as YMCA or YWCA Hamilton, to help their communities. And youths can also enroll in approved youth organizations that facilitates projects that will cater for all groups of young people. So these are the things I think that youths can do that can contribute to the future of Hamilton.
Awesome.
Jump in. I think that getting involved in municipal politics is these issues really, in municipal politics is something that's within our backyard and something that we can actually have a voice at. And so whether that is delegating at council, if, having the opportunity to do that, you see the agenda, being able to access that, they're speaking on this topic, maybe it's cycling and you really feel passionate about that, just going. And I know council is always surprised to see youth at those delegations, but I think it does, have that to take us seriously and have, this is our voice and this is us, actively speaking and having a say. So I definitely would, what's the word? Like,
get involved,
support,
right?
get involved, and recommend
exactly.
youth to get into municipal politics.
I actually want to add with Liz and Ogochukwu in this point that youth in Hamilton, they need to be innovative, work more on technology. As you know that this is an industrial city. So, but its youth, Hamilton's youth need to lean more towards the developing skills, which has future. They need to develop this city as technology oriented as well, which in turn will bring lots of job opportunities for everyone, especially youths, since they drive it. It will give also like a boost to other industries around. So
absolutely, absolutely. And like,
can I add something?
Yeah, Ogo.
Oh, okay. So another thing I think the youths can do is, making themselves available for the youth engagement and empowerment programs, which can help the youths become integral part of policies that can help them either economically or socially. So this is another way youths can help contribute to the future of Hamilton.
Yeah. So we're coming up on 5 more minutes in our session. So I'd like to call out to the rest of our Hop-In and our CityLAB community that's watching. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them into the chat. But I think let's just try and sum this up. We're talking about a youth-friendly city that is safe, that has a lot of opportunity for job development and growth. We're also talking about affordability, being able to like actually live in the city that you're here. Also, there's lots of recreation and an open sort of policy that actually takes into account the youth voice. Does that sound right to my panelists?
Yes. Yes.
And we're also talking about that some of the things that we can do better is that we can work on safety, making sure that we're creating a safe environment. We're also creating places that people can congregate and share ideas and do that in a free and open manner. And then at the end of the day, it's also about affordability in terms of housing, right? So making sure that we can live in the places that we work. And I love the fact that you guys have all kind of said, get involved, because really as the youth, you guys have a really strong voice. And frankly, as youth, you guys are seen as the experts because you're essentially inheriting that next generation of what Hamilton looks like. So I'm super excited about that. And since we have a couple more minutes, how about you guys give me or the rest of our audience some recommendations on where to go to have fun or go to eat, or what are some of the places that you guys think would be really cool to share with our CityLAB community?
Well, if you see, the whole Hamilton is very beautiful from every aspect. Like it has a lot of scenic beauty inside it. So wherever you go, you can enjoy the Hamilton. So
Absolutely, absolutely.
Another good thing Hamilton has is the access to transportation systems all around Hamilton. Everywhere is connected. So that is one good milestone Hamilton has actually achieved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Liz, what do you think?
I think my favorite COVID pass, going to a local coffee shop, walking on our beautiful trails, because it's the one thing that we can do safely, and I have really appreciated that in Hamilton's natural beauty. And so every time that like I have my roommates and I have really enjoyed that throughout the last couple months, and it's seriously saved me. So I'm so happy to be able to access all of the natural beauty Hamilton has to offer.
Excellent, excellent. And I will say that being in Hamilton, the only challenge that I have is that you can't go out into the restaurants and actually eat in the restaurants, but I've been doing a lot of takeout. Gaining a little bit of weight during the COVIDs, but it's all good. We'll work that off later. But I think some of my favorite sort of restaurants to go to are places that actually have a little bit of history, some scenery, a little bit of walking. So I will say I will give my vote to Hutch's on the Beach at Confederation Park. I know Liz may have some problems with that because she's from Port Dover, and Port Dover has a lot of fish and chips. But yeah, that's my sort of vote, is Hutch's on the Beach. Anyway, Ogo, what about you? Is there any great like Nigerian restaurants that we should go to?
There's one thing good about Hamilton is that, I mean, there are a lot of restaurants from, I mean, a lot of the immigrants, like they actually own. So in Hamilton, there's a Calabar Kitchen, which serves a good Nigerian and African foods. So yeah.
Okay. Any last minute thoughts from our panelists? Something that you would like to, we just have 1 more minute left. I thought perhaps if there's any advice that you'd like to give to our youth, anything that you guys would like to say just to close out our panel session today. Okay, we're all good then. Patrick, come on back, hang out with us. Our youth panel is pretty amazing. They've really covered significant, huge issues that we gotta figure out what we gotta do here. Like, yeah, safety, affordable housing, placemaking. Like, these are some big things.
Yeah, absolutely. And the restaurant scene you covered too in 20 minutes. So that's my vote is going to be for sushi, the new sushi place on Lock Street. That's
Nice.
been getting me through COVID as well. Yes, but to your point, Tammy, this is fantastic. You know, these are huge topics, and it's refreshing and, you know, just frankly wonderful to have your frank perspectives on these pieces, and the, you know, the continued description and challenge, I think, to everybody to get involved and find those ways that are going to resonate with you in the ways that are going to help to move towards your vision of the city of Hamilton. And how can you be active in advocating and perhaps in politics? My question, which I don't think you saw, Tammy, was I was asking who's going to run for council, who on the panel is going to run for council. So that's and maybe not running for council, but being involved in political campaigns that will be coming up in 2022 with the municipal elections. So that's always an outlet for people as well.
Excellent. Thank you again to our amazing panelists, and have the great rest of your CityLAB showcase.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
folks.
Thank you.
The next component that's going to open up at 11:15 is the networking component that we mentioned at the beginning. So when that goes live, you can click on that handshake button on the left, and you can meet someone who's here. So enjoy the expo. Come check out the other booths, look around, and I'll be back on at 11:50 to say some concluding remarks. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.